Good evening. Shabbat is over and we're beginning the new week. However, I wanted to recap today's Haftorah. Today's portion that we read in the Torah reading, the Bible reading, was about the building of the Mishkan, building of the tabernacle. So, 1,000 years later, King Solomon is living, and he is now dedicating the building of the house of God, Beit Adonai. And let's see what's going on. First of all, King Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived. He was the son of King David, and he had 7 different names. And I think it's interesting if we can hear what those names were. So give me a second or longer. Here we go. Shlomo was one of his names. Yedid Yah, God is dear to me. Kohelet, we know from the book of Ecclesiastes. Agur, Yakeh, Lemuel, each one of them is one of King Solomon's different names. ETL, God is with me. Of course, we know that he was made king at 12 or 13, bar mitzvah, and this story is taking place when he's 16 years old. So it says, and God gave wisdom to Solomon. And I was reading where the chapter starts, and I had to flip back because the Haftorah doesn't start until verse 26. So I go to the beginning of the chapter to see where it began, and I found it very, very interesting how it says that the kingdom of Solomon was ruled over from the river unto the sea. I don't make this up. To the river to where the Philistines were. Okay, now, God gives wisdom to King Solomon. And let's see what happens here. He has a partnership with the king of the north, and his name was Hiram. And Hiram and Shlomo had a pact, and there was this crew that would build the Beit HaMikdash. He had 70,000 men working on the stone quarrying and 80,000 men working on the wood, the cedars of Lebanon. This was going up in Lebanon where all of this was excavated and taken down to Jerusalem by the boat. And there were 3,300 people supervising the 150,000 people. When did this happen? It happened 480 years after they left Egypt. And if you calculate, we know the year that the Jewish people left Egypt. It was the year 2448. And take 480 years later, it's roughly the year 2900, which is exactly halftime between today's date in the Hebrew calendar and the date of creation. And it talks about the dimensions of the temple. It talks about the exterior of it as well. So we have some kind of blueprints for this building, this structure. And that the Haftarah ends with God saying, Shlomo, you gotta listen to what is written in the Torah. And if you listen, it will ensure this permanent place for the Jewish people to live in Jerusalem. That was the promise. You could ask the question, what happened? But we'll tell you that another time. So I wish you all Shabbat Shalom, or Shavua Tov is more appropriate. And it's a very thrilling time as far as our Haftorahs go, because we're building the Beit Adonai, the house of God. Many of us say Beit HaMikdash. That word is used, it means the holy house, but it's because originally, if you look in all of the Tanakh, if you look in all of the Bible, it doesn't call it Beit HaMikdash. It calls it Beit Adonai, the house of God. Just thought it'd be interesting to note. I wish you all Shavua Tov. Toda Rabah. Thank you.